Well, good morning, everyone. This is Meg's Little House in the Country. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. It's a very busy Thursday morning. Lots of traffic behind me, as you can hear. Everybody's headed to work, and I'm going to head to work too, but we're just having a beautiful sunrise this morning. I caught a little bit of it earlier. As you saw, still got a bit of a half moon up in the sky. So, yeah. And as you also got a glimpse of, I put the truck in the garage because I got to back up here to get out. I got my car back. It's running. The brake switch they got for it works. So brake lights come on and everything else. It's still throwing up codes, and it's got a really odd odor that comes through the vents, the air vents. But I actually started it up with the key start, and it's key started. So it's warming up right now. I've got to go and get all my stuff and get in the car and get off to work. I'm supposed to be to work at 8 o'clock, and then I have a feeling that, yeah. Anyways, our current temperature this morning is 32.7 Fahrenheit. Yeah, I gotta make that clear. It's Fahrenheit. So, one more look at the sunrise. The sun should be coming up. Oh, God, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love being able to see the sunrise. Well, happy February 1st, and I will talk to y'all later. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning, early Friday morning. I've got a big Etsy order I got to get packaged up here. I should have gotten it packaged up last night, but I had car troubles, and my coworker, who's a mechanic, he came over. I texted him. I'd actually recorded the sound my car was making on the way home, and sent him a share of that recording so that he could listen to it. And he said he would come out. So after him and his wife had been out doing a little grocery shopping, they came over yesterday evening. So I was kind of waiting for him and trying to get some stuff done in the house, and did not get these packaged up last night. He did send me a text this morning. Well, about last night. He sent me a text around 11:30. I was already asleep in bed, but apparently there's just some front-end work that needs to be done. But anyways, I got to get these packaged up, and I don't have a lot of time to do it because I still got to leave for work by 7:45. Thank goodness I have my little old dependable truck to drive to work. He did take my car back to his house last night. So I'm going to get these packaged up and ready to get shipped out. I'm pretty sure I have a box I can put them all into. It'll be cheaper that way. Talk to you later. Okay, I've got things all packaged up. I now need to get them boxed up and get my shipping label made, because I got to get these dropped off at the post office at noon or thereabouts on my lunch break. Another Etsy order ready to go. Thank you all for watching. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning. I'm running late for work. I had a very large Etsy order, as you saw, to get packaged up. And you notice something is missing. Yes, we're taking the truck to work this morning. Yeah, my little car, she has some problems. The something in the front suspension went kind of kaput on the way home last night. It started going thumpity, thumpity, thumpity. And it was the faster I went, louder it thumped, so I slowed way down. I did get a audio recording of the thumpity thumpity and sent it to my coworker mechanic who came out last night and got my car. He sent me a text message explaining exactly what it was. I don't remember what it was, but I will put a little screenshot of his text telling exactly what, but it's not electrical, it's not computer issues, which are hard to fix. It's just mechanical, something that can be fixed. Awesome. Hallelujah. Anyways, it's a wet, muddy, rainy day today up here in East Idaho, and I am off to work. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Meg's Little House in the Country, and we are outside on a nice sunny and breezy Sunday afternoon. It's really quite beautiful out here. It's 40 degrees, so it really doesn't feel all that bad out here. I'm looking around. Oh, we got the winter wheat is starting to sprout out in the fields. It's been so warm lately. I still have tons of mud in my driveway. I'm currently parking the truck in the garage, as you can see. There it is in the garage. Yeah. Right now, grass sprouting out in the, well, it's wheat. It's sprouting out in the fields. The mud is, yeah, mud. So, I'll show you a bit, yeah. No, windy days mean bad hair days. It's just hard, you know. Had my hair fixed so nice for church, and now it's just all over the place again. Well, hold on, I'll turn you around and we'll take a look around outside and what's going on, and then we'll go inside. And I got my seed order, so we're gonna open up my seed order and see what I got today. Well, I still have mud, plenty of mud. It's starting to dry out a bit, though that may change over the next week or so. We're supposed to get more precipitation. The next few days are supposed to be wet, rain, snow. Temps by next weekend are going to be dropping back down to the normal temperatures for February in Idaho, which is usually the 20s and 30s. But as you can see, I've just got a nicely, badly rutted driveway. Yeah, I've already talked to a few people, and they do agree that we need to, yeah, this down here, this is right here. This is my old driveway level. This was the old driveway under the mud, under all this clay. So they do agree that we do need to get this all scraped down as much as we can down to the, oh God, look at those ruts. See, it's just so badly rutted right now. And you can see the dark area under the clay is where the original ground level was before the clay got layered on top of it. It's pretty muddy. I am keeping my truck in the garage because if anybody comes over to my house, they got to come through the east, and at least they can, now that the snow is pretty much gone from in front of the garage, they can at least turn around here in front of the garage. Okay, I'm going to close this garage door because I'm not going anywhere till I go to work in the morning. So, yes, my garage needs to be cleaned out. Bad. It's looking like a mess. Alright, so we're going to go back in. Yeah, all this warm weather has gotten the weeds sprouting. Look at that. I got a nice crop of weeds sprouting up already. They're sprouting and growing. They think it's spring. You'd think it was March. Last week, I was telling my mom that we're having some beautiful spring days here at the end of January. It's supposed to be winter. And I actually think I've seen, well, I really do think this Nanking cherry over here that by the side of my house, which I really ought to just remove completely. is starting to bud out. I was looking at it. Yeah, you can see the buds are starting to get fat on this thing. And it shouldn't be budding out until about April. End of March, 1st of April is when it should be budding out. So yeah, it does need to cool back off so everything will go back to sleep. It's getting a little too warm for our northern plants here. They don't need to be starting to bud out because the ground's warming up and thawing out. So they need to sleep for a few more weeks, at least till the middle of March. So we are going to go inside and we're going to check out my seed order. Well, we're back. And I tried to straighten up my hair. I got a little wind blown out there, as you saw. So I hope I look okay. Anyways, well, while a week or two ago, I finally got around to getting to Baker Creek and ordering some seeds. I also ordered the whole seed catalog. I normally pick it up and buy it at Natural Grocers, but for some reason this year, I went up there and I had been looking since November for their catalog. They usually have it in October and November, and they have it for sale. And I can just buy it at the store, and I don't have to send off for one. But every time I went up there, every weekend I went up there and went to Natural Grocers, they didn't have it. And I didn't get around to asking them if they were even going to stock them this year. But I ordered, and I got it. Look, I got my catalog. I love it. They have such great articles. This is not the free one. The free one, you can get the free one. And the free one will just be a seed catalog. Just the seeds. That's it. This one has just wonderful articles on the history of some of the plants. I mean, look at this. We got beautiful articles. It's just really fun to read and go through. This is my wish book. Yeah, when I was a little girl, my wish books were the Sears wish book, the Montgomery Ward wish book. I love the catalogs. I love looking through them and seeing all the things as a little girl. But as a grandma and a gardener, I love this. This is now my wish book. And it's worth the money. Definitely is worth the money. And I also got my seeds. I don't even really remember what I ordered, so we are going to look at these together. So first off, let's pull out and see what I got. Amish paste tomato. Yarrow Colorado mix. Yarrow is something I used to always go with my mom. We'd go up in the mountains and we'd harvest it for herbal tea. Yarrow is a very good healing herb, and it's very good if you're ill with sickness. Well, I was taught when I was young that yarrow had a natural source of quinine and was used by the pioneers to treat malaria. So it's a good herbal tea with a lot of healing properties. Very good herb to have in your garden and in your flower beds. And of course it has these beautiful flowers. Next up, I got honey nut squash. I've heard of this, but I've never tried it. It's like the butternut squash, only it's just a wee bit smaller. And it's a little softer, so it's easier to cut into than the butternut. Butternut is, I love the flavor of butternut, but boy, it takes a lot of muscle to chop through a butternut squash. But I've heard that this tastes just as good as a butternut. It's a smaller squash, but it actually is easier to cut up. And I got that tip off of Bluebird Homestead. It's on YouTube. A beautiful, nice channel. a beautiful young couple, Ryan and Kara. They do farming and gardening, and they love growing the honey nut squash. So check them out. It's Bluebird Homestead. It's on YouTube. Next up, I got a free seed. Ha! It's called, I don't know. How do you pronounce that? Can you guys figure out how to pronounce that? Yedekul? I don't know. That's an interesting one. It's a lettuce. I'm going to have to try it. Lettuces grow very well here in the spring and the early summer because, you know, we have such cool weather. It really doesn't usually get hot until the 1st of July, and then your lettuce will bolt. But May and June are really good for growing lettuce. So I'm going to have to try that. I wonder if I can start it in the house in a tray and just grow a lettuce tray. That'll be interesting. That's a free seed. Okay. And next up, Calendula. This is the Pacific Beauty Mix. I used to have my front flower bed along my sidewalk. Used to have calendula in it. It self-seeded every year. And, well, when I removed the old metal frame that was holding in it because they had it as a raised bed, and I wanted to get rid of the raised bed and just level it down to just below the level of the sidewalk. And I dug out all the dirt and everything, and I dumped it in my garden and everything, and I haven't had any calendula in there since then. I obviously dug out and got rid of all the seeds, and I thought, oh, it's time to reseed. I just miss having those beautiful yellow flowers along my front sidewalk. Okay, another one I got, I thought it'd be really good in my flower beds, is bee balm. It's real good for the pollinators. Bees absolutely love this. And I think it has other uses, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. If anybody here knows more about bee balm other than the bees love it, and I love to feed the bees, let me know. Drop a comment. I also, just for fun, I want to try growing this just for fun. It's a popping popcorn. This is the glass gem corn. And yeah, it looks like jewels. Got a little cough coming on here. Okay, yeah. It's okay. On the back of this, it says bred by Carl White Eagle Barnes, legendary corn breeder of Cherokee descent. It's 3 to 8 inch ears covered in translucent kernels. Really do shine brilliantly like glass. I'm going to be eager to see. Yeah. All right. I want to see how that grows here. Okay, another one I've been wanting to get ever since Baker Creek came out with it is the Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato. I mean, look at the colors! And they're a good sized salad tomato. They're not the tiny, tiny cherry tomatoes, but these are a little bigger so you can cut them up or just pop them in, and they just look so pretty. Don't those look gorgeous? I wanted to, last couple of years, I've wanted to grow these. So we are going to grow some Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato this year. And finally, because I've seen people say how good these are, and there are recipes you can use, and I wanted to try, but I got to get some, is ground cherries. I've never tried growing ground cherries before, but I thought it would be fun this year to grow some ground cherries and use some of these excellent recipes I've seen people using to actually make some of the I'd like to make some of the recipes. There's some for pies and preserves I've seen, and I thought, you know, they look so good when they're done. And it's just like, I've never had a ground cherry before. I don't know what they taste like. So this is going to be interesting for me to make ground cherries. Now, I've also have to admit, I have been buying seeds from the local stores because, well, you know, it was January, it was super cold, and as soon as stores started popping up with seeds in them, I started picking up a few things. I got a few that we're going to try growing again. Nasturtiums. I haven't had much luck with my nasturtiums, and I just dropped a seed packet. Got a lap full of seed packets, by the way. The nasturtiums, I haven't had too much luck with them. Last year I planted a whole packet and only 3 sprouted, I think, 3 or 4. Well, I found out that you actually have to score the surface of the seed for the moisture to get inside the seed, because they got a really hard surface, and you kind of have to scrape some of that away and then soak them and then plant them, and you get a better well, Tracy at Just Dig It Farm, she explains really well how to plant nasturtiums so that they will actually sprout and grow. And I was very appreciative of the advice, because mine, I've planted them years after years, packet after packet, and I only get maybe a handful of plants that would actually sprout out of 20, 30 seeds. And I thought, well, maybe the seeds were no good, but it just turns out I was not planting them properly. You learn something new every day, and be open to learning something. I got the Bright Light Swiss Chard. So this is a really fun one. I've grown it once before, years and years ago, and I just love that all the stems come out different colors. Doesn't affect the flavor. I mean, it's Swiss chard. It tastes like Swiss chard. Cooks up like spinach. Is good to eat. I got some more white pumpkins. We're gonna try more white pumpkins again this year. Gotta get those white pumpkins done. Okay. Okay, let's see. Which one's next? I got a couple of Mammoth sweet pea varieties. I was thinking, you know, I've got a couple of places in my yard that are just kind of, I want to get something growing there, but I want to get something that will climb. And I thought, well, we'll try the sweet peas and see if the sweet peas climb well. They tend to do climb, and I've got these ones which have the, you can see the colors on the packet. It's supposed to be kind of pink and all that stuff. Pinks and purples and whites and blues and reds. And then this one is a salmon colored one. And I thought, well, together it should add a little beauty to my yard. Hopefully I don't have the wild morning glories or the bindweed also trying to take over. And of course, I got more squash. More white pumpkin. Found another packet. I must have bought 2. A white bush scallop. Those are good eating. Small squashes, but good eating. Winter squash called Table Gold, and I'm not sure, let's see, it's a compact plant and for light yellow, nutty tasting 3-inch fruits. So 80 days for 5-inch, 50 days for 3-inch. So if I let them go 80 days, they'll get up to 5 inches long. It's a yellow golden winter acorn fruit. Huh, that's interesting. But I thought it sounded interesting, and I thought they sounded good. Got some more calendula, because yes, I want calendula back on my front walk. More nasturtiums. We're going to grow nasturtiums this year. I found this white marigold. Now, isn't that cool? I've never seen a white marigold before. So I thought, well, we're going to grow white marigolds to go with all the other marigolds. I got these Texas bluebonnet, which literally look like the Rocky Mountain wild lupin that I grew up with when I lived up in Montana. There's all over there. More rainbow carrots. I love the rainbow carrots. But I think mine had gotten a little bit to a point where I was getting more whites and yellows and oranges and very few red ones. But I thought, well, it's time to reseed the rainbow carrots. So we're going to be reseeding our rainbow carrots. I got a hummingbird and butterfly flower mix here. Oh, got all the lights glowing off of that. And another, this one's called Early Blooming Beekeeper's Mix. And when are you supposed to sow it? I'm trying to see. Early spring. Well, I guess after, it says after danger of frost, but they're probably thinking hard freeze. Yeah. So sometime in April, May, I'm going to plant these. See, it's the Early Blooming Beekeeper's Mix. Got a ton of different seeds in this thing. Everything in here is got the Latin names and not the common names. So I don't even try to pronounce all those. But we're going to try sowing all these seeds and hopefully get my flower beds looking better and having a great gardening season. I hope everybody enjoyed this morning's Sunday hymn. I did get a hymn out, so not gonna try to sing songs to you right now, but this is my starting seeds with me once true spring comes. Right now we're getting I think a false spring, and then we're gonna get some more winter, and then we'll get real spring, and then we'll get second winter, and then we'll get another spring. Hopefully it won't jump right into summer after that. Having such a mild winter right now has really gotten me wondering just how hot this summer is going to get here. We're all grateful currently for the moisture we have been getting. We need the rain and the snow to really help build up our water table. The aquifer under the state has kind of got a little depleted. I've actually heard of people who live farther away from the higher in the hills who have had their wells dry up and have had to get deeper wells dug. Generally in those areas, things that never used to happen, but it does happen. I'm glad I live fairly close to the river and the water table is pretty high right where I am, so my well is an 80-foot well, and it seems to be functioning quite well still. So prayers that our water table gets up and we get enough snow in the mountains to fill all the reservoirs so that the farmers this year have plenty for irrigation. And I guess that's it, and I will see you all on the next video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Bye-bye.